Hello, good evening, and a very warm welcome to Rangers Radio.
Hello, Bears, and welcome to Tuesday night's Rangers Radio. Tonight you've been joined by myself, GB, and the one and only Old Bear. How are we getting on, Old Bear?
I'm getting on smashing, mate. How's yourself?
Aye, mate. I can't believe it's Wednesday already tomorrow, so it's a quick week. I enjoy a quick week, mate, because the fit becomes running faster, you know what I mean? So, and there's some positives to talk about tonight, mate, and we'll touch on some maybe controversial subjects, but all things Rangers. So, callers, you are more than welcome to join us tonight. What do you say, Old Bear?
Get them open, mate. Get them in. Get the troops in.
Quite right. So positives, I'll be a couple of wee positives for the day. I seen that the final part of the steel got delivered, so that looks as though we're hopefully on course for the stadium to be on back up to the fans, predicted by Mr. Bennett himself.
I've seen that myself, mate. That's excellent news. Seen the wee video of the workers in the inside the stand and all that. So it's all looking good, mate. They were getting somewhere, thank God. Aye, positive. That's definitely a positive thing. As everybody's saying, we can't wait to get to Ibrox, can we? Everybody wants back in, and quite rightly so. So aye, good positive, mate.
I'm looking forward to actually seeing what it was all built for in the first place. I'll see the disabled access and stuff like that. I'm looking forward to their new experience once they get back into Ibrox to see how it all unfolds for them. You know what I mean? And like, is that balcony bit getting built, and we'll be undercover more. I mean, I'm hoping that that it'll be worth the heartache that it's been all better.
Oh, aye. No matter what it is, as long as the disabled get in and get undercover and get a good view of the game, it's all worth it, mate, as far as I'm concerned. It doesn't matter to me how it looks. It's more about, is it practical? Is it fit for purpose? That's all you're caring about, mate. So if they get in there and get undercover, mate, for a start, that's a big positive, because for years they've not been doing that. So aye, all done in the best intentions, mate. It went a wee bit pear-shaped, but that doesn't matter. It's done and dusted now. We're on our way. We're getting it done now. Work's well on progress, so that's quite good.
Plenty of learnings, I suppose, I'll be able to take away from it, in the sense that if we're developing other bits of Ibrox for disabled access and stuff like that, then I'm sure, like I says, there's got to be things in place for the next time round that, like I says, will not set us back the way it set us back this time.
Aye, well, it's like Fox pointed out, the board were trying to cut corners and make it cost effective, blah blah blah. I mean, that's one of the reasons I dare say it sort of went pear shaped. But the boy Richard was on the other night there last week, or was it this? I was last week talking about the building, the club deck and all that. Guy came across as a professional builder. Talked about how they done it. All professional people involved, with both sides, Rangers and the contractors. So that's what you're looking for now. You're looking for professionals to take a hold of these any future building and make sure it runs smoothly, mate. It's a big lesson to learn, and as you say, rightly so. Let's hope they learn that lesson. But as I say, it's positive now. It's getting built.
That's it. We're on our way. Another positive was I seen the Elite Sports case has been finally settled and stuff like that. So we don't need to worry about this whole Hummel thing. That's finally been put to bed, albeit it's been settled out of court. So again, it's another thing that's basically been creeping about for the past, albeit, isn't it? So it's another thing pleasing to see shut down.
Aye, of course it is, mate. Put a final stop in it, or put a pin in it, or whatever. Is that Fat Ashley? If I dare say was in the background with all that as well, I dare say. But anyway, it's good it's put to bed. I don't know what the settlement was. I don't know what the agreements, but you never get to know about these things. But I'm sure the other side of the city will know, and they'll tell us all know what's all happened here and the finer details of the whole thing, no?
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure there was a post ready straight after the one that I seen the day about it's been settled. There'll be probably something else that will creep at the woodwork, but let them obsess. Let them obsess at their will.
Oh, they're closet Rangers supporters. They just don't want to admit it. They love the Rangers. They love talking about it. Aye. Hello, yous.
It must be that royal blue. It must be that looks staunch on them.
There's only one team in it. Let's be honest about it. There's only one. Biggest team, probably in the world. We say in Scotland, but it's probably the world, mate. Let's be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Aye. So anyway, that's it. And we're moving another step forward. And I was reading the post and follow about the shenanigans that was happening, but that was a good read as well. So don't know if it's true, but it's a good read anyway. But seems to me that if Mr. Bennett is cleaning house, you know what I mean, and he has been since the time he's took over the chairmanship. So I think people need to open their eyes and start thinking the positives of that as well, because at the end of the day, a lot of people's been moved out of Ibrox. Maybe not enough yet, but a lot of people have been moved out. So aye, that's to me that's positive. That's the guy doing his job.
The biggest thing, Albert, like I says, I know that the man's been making mistakes. You've seen his face when we won 55. You've seen his face when we were standing in St. Val. The man, as a Rangers man, is just, unfortunately, I think he's had folk run about him that's been whispering in his ear, and he's probably just had to go with it. And like you says, mate, I think the clear route is continuing. This, I think, as his previous callers have mentioned that this is going to be a kind of ropey season, I think, albeit there's a lot of stuff needing tidied up. And we just have to, I think even you said, we just have to stick by it and just kind of support it, mate.
We just need to knuckle down, mate. We don't like it. There's nothing wrong with complaining, or nothing at all. And viewing your opinion, nothing. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But at the end of the day, the only one that's going to get us out is us. We need to knuckle down. As usual, we're the ones that's going to be left with us. And that's fine, by the way. We're good. We're loyal. We'll be there. Don't worry about it. We'll be there. And we'll get it right. Eventually, we'll get it right, mate. We'll definitely get it right. I'm confident of that. A transitional season, mate. So we just need to accept it as this sort of season. But don't bear in mind, that doesn't mean you can't challenge, mate. I don't think you can't challenge. We might be outsiders to win the league or win anything for that matter. But don't write us off. You write us off at your peril, mate.
No, I totally agree. And I think it doesn't give Clement the right to have a free ride either this season. I mean, as much as I know he's rebuilding and stuff like that, at the end of the day, he's still got to put out an entertaining team and a team that we can see developing. Because for me, it was one of the things, Albert, with Gerrard, that as much as season after season we kind of tripped up at the lesser teams, we've seen progress against the Celtic and stuff like that. We've seen us getting back into finals. And I think that's why we kind of stuck by Gerrard. I mean, we knew that there was something there to build on. And I think that's what we're just really needing with Clement. As much as he's grabbed the trophy for last season, we're really needing, for me, mate, I'm just hoping we see more and more progression in all firm games.
I mean, of course. I mean, the next one is coming up. We're nowhere near ready for it. But that'll no matter. That'll no matter to anybody when the game kicks off. It's one of the things. Ross County before then, remember. So we're not going to just ignore teams and just go straight to other teams. We've got a big game against Ross County to take care of before we get anywhere near that. So as for Clement, he's not asking for sympathy, mate. I don't think he is. He's not that type of man. What he's asking for is a bit of patience and a bit of understanding. That's what he's asking for. Now, we know we're building a team. We all know that. The evidence is there. But I don't care what anybody says. I can see a difference in this team. Is it as good as last season or as strong as last season? That's up to yourself, subjective. It's you think what you think. I see improvement, mate. I like what I see. I like the players that are coming in. I like the attitude of some of these players as well. They're hungry young players, you know what I mean? And you can see it. Are they a lot to learn? Of course they have. But you've got to start somewhere, mate. So that's a positive to me as well. It's faster football as well. They play quicker and they've got more intent of going forward rather than mincing about at the back and you know what I mean, and taking slow, ponderous football to get up the park. So I'm happy with that. We can get better, a lot better. We know we can. They know they can. So all Clement's asking is, he's saying, I criticise me, don't like my tactics, don't like this. That's all fine and dandy. His tactics is his tactics, and the right or wrong, it's about winning games, building a team and winning games and winning trophies. If he gets it wrong, he'll not be here. But it will be a while before he goes. You've got to give the guy time. And I think he's doing a good job. I think he's doing more than a good job. I think he's doing a great job, mate.
That's a good question about time. Like, a lot of people have speculated, depending how the season goes, that he'll not get time. But for me personally, Albert, I think, like I says, when you're getting out a big long contract like that, we've just got to go with it. I think we've got to give him the time, no matter what happens. Because at least then I think we can sit back and say, well, we did give it a shot and we did give him time to build a team. Whereas if you start going down the route of, well, what we've seen with our next manager coming out there with some statements, Mr. Beale, then we've just got to go round and round in circles.
No, I've not heard. I heard clips yet, but I've heard. I was listening to Ravel and I heard that they were talking about it, but I didn't agree with anything they were saying right enough. But it's at the end of the day, Mr. Beale's Mr. Beale. He's got what he's got to say. He's got what he's got to say. That's fine. I've not listened to his full interview, so I can't really pass comment on it. But as far as Clement is, all these people are shouting for his head if he doesn't do this for this time or he doesn't do that for this time, all the nonsense they know, and they're shouting for the board to be renewed and all that. I mean, as David Edgar had said, there's only the board's been in less than a year. Less than a year that board's been in place, and the manager is not just short of a year as well. And we're all shouting and bawling. Well, I'm not shouting and bawling, but a lot of people are shouting and bawling. The trouble with that is, GB, I don't bother with people shouting and bawling what they want. Oh, get rid of the man, get rid of the board, right? Okay, fine. The same people I want to come on tonight and explain to me what's the alternative, what's the solution. Then it's all right just saying sack people. Okay. We'll sack Clement, we'll sack the board, right? What's next? Give me a suggestion. What have they got in their mind? It's like the oil people, they ban oil. Let's ban oil. Okay, we'll ban oil. What are we going to do now? They don't give you the alternative, mate. It's just all shouting and bawling about banning people and getting rid of people and not giving people a chance or enough time to do their jobs. Right, fine, that's fine. You can do it all you want. But let's change it a wee bit. Let's say, okay, you want them banned, you want them sacked. Well, let's hear what you've got to put in place. I want to hear it. Because they must have a plan, surely.
Well, like you says, we need callers to debate it, mate. So let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
That's it. Give us a call. That says anything Rangers related. How he's feeling about Clement now that dust is kind of settling on topics that we kind of made our pre-season quite rough, to be honest. I think now that what we've mentioned, stadium's starting to settle down a bit, where we know what kind of competition we're going to be in with Europe. The team's now getting closer and closer to the end of the transfer window. And Clement, like I says, has kind of made it clear that this is a progression and we're just going to have to be patient. So let's hear your thoughts on the current state of affairs, Bears, and give us a call. Albert, Clement, like I says, he has been working with one hand tied behind his back, but I think where a lot of people have been critical is what you've mentioned, is the tactics. And my concern is that this transfer window, say for talk's sake, shuts tomorrow and he goes with the same kind of tactics. Is he leaving himself open for more criticism if it, like I says, we keep getting cut open the way that Ox has mentioned, with this kind of two in the middle rather than not having like a 3 or a 4?
See, none of tactics matter, mate. Nothing. Tactics do not matter. Where we sit at the right moment, tactics don't matter. It's winning games that matter. And that is for any manager, mate, and any team. Winning games. You win games, nobody cares about your tactics. They'll call you a genius if you win games, or a great tactics. They call you a fool if you don't win games. It's all about winning games, mate. It's as simple. Nothing changes in football. It's just as simple as that. His tactics for the playing us, I'm no tactics genius, mate, so I don't know if they're right or wrong. All I do know is there's big wide gaps in the park all over the park, and teams that were playing seem to have a hell of a lot of space, a hell of a lot of running space to and all over the park against us. So that's all I see. Now, a lot of people more smarter than me can come on here and tell me why that happens, and I'm not going to argue with them. They're probably right, because I'm no tactical genius. All I do know is how you build a team. You build a team for the back, mate. Everybody knows that. And that's what the guy's sort of trying to do. But he's limited, as you pointed out. He's got one hand tied behind his back, mate. He's got to go on with it. I don't hear him complaining that much. I hear him just trying to talk positives. He got lambasted for what he done with the team going towards the crowd on Saturday. He's trying to get the crowd and the team reconnected and try to get a siege mentality going here. He's trying to get us and prove to us, oh, we all need to be together here. That's all he tried to do, mate. But you gain the Rangers haters and all the rest in the crap. Media all jump on his case, shouting, oh, they're celebrating beating St Johnstone 2-0 in a quarter-finals. It's that way. Rangers never used to celebrate that. It used to be lifting cups when we celebrate, which is all true. But that's not what he was trying to do. People are misunderstanding what the man's trying to do at times and say, and they intentionally take what he says out of context and try to misunderstand him. He's trying to build a team. That's all the man's trying to do. And it's not only a team, he's trying to build a whole backroom staff, a whole football department. That's what he's trying to do. And he's trying to clean out all the dead wood in there. And let's be honest, GB, there's a lot of dead wood in there. So he's trying to do it. And as far as I can see, he's doing a decent job here. And if you take, would you call him, the Bennett, he's taken him in isolation. He's in the background cleaning house, mate. He's getting rid of this, that, and the next one all over the place. Now, the follow tweet sort of alluded to that, that he's cleaning. So that's all positive. That's what's happening. We're all shouting and bawling about it. It needs gutted. The place needs gutted. We need to reset, rejig, and start again and get better foundations put in place regarding the football side of things. That's what's happening. That's what we asked for. That's what's happening. But you're going to expect the guy to do it within 2 weeks to 3 weeks. The guy needs time to do this. And you can dress it up any way they want. They can all shout and bawl all they want, GB. But they've all got to sit back and say, hold on, give the guy time. Results are results, but give the guy time to build this team. And I'll guarantee you, the way I see it, when that man walks away for Rangers, he will leave Rangers in a stronger position than he found them. And that's a fact, mate. And people might say it wouldn't be hard. Well, it might sound that way, but it's not. It's difficult. What he's trying to do is really, really difficult. Again, I'll go back to your point of one hand tied behind his back. Sometimes he's got two hands tied behind his back. But the guy's getting there. He will get there. Just give him a wee bit of help. Again, we're restricted with the fair play. Again, we're restricted with a lack of money. Again, we're restricted for players that we can't move on because they're on fantastic wages. Made a mistake made by other managers and other CEOs. Again, he's trying to tidy that up. Again, he looks at the medical staff. We've got injuries all around. 31 players last year. Our whole first team squad is practically injured at one time. That's not right. He's trying to tidy that up. Again, he's looking at the the youth club for the young boys coming out. Again, he's went like that. No, they're not going to train. They're training with the first team. I don't want them the first time they meet the first team is when they go in apart in a competitive game. Silly wee things like that all need tidied up, mate. And the barriers that's been put in place over the years for these things to be like that, like the boys don't train with the first team, that all need to be broke down. He's trying to break all this down, rejig it all, and he'll get there. Just give him time. And let's support him. And we play good. Let's say we play good. If we play bad, you can criticise all you want, mate. There's nothing stopping people criticising. But come on, constructive criticism is always good. That's my rant over.
No rant, mate. No, fair play and well said. I think he brought up the youth. Was it the youth squad? They call them, or the youth club. The youth club. We'll come back to that because I want to kind of discuss that because we've got to look at the B team as more a feeder. A better feeder team for the first team, definitely. We can't keep continuing on like this with the youth players, but we'll come back to that. Hopefully that's as if we get callers in, then we can expand on that a wee bit. But back to kind of Clermont, where I'll give him credit as it stands now, albeit can't think off the top of my head that he's made a bad signing yet. I mean, if you look at it, Barnes...
It's a bit early to say, I suppose, GB, but I know what you're saying. But carry on, sorry, I'm interrupted.
No, not at all. If you look at it, we've got Barnes, who's come in, and he's been decent, he's been solid, and he's been consistent. So that's a pass mark for me. Yefty is now looking as though he's coming on to be a better player. If anything, if he turns out that he can't play left back, he can certainly play left wing. You know what I mean? So again, it's a plus point for me. At least the player can contribute to the squad. Diamande, he's still wet behind the ears at times, but to be honest, he's got talent there. You can see it, just needs developed. And then we had Potter come in, decent enough, big, solid defender. So it seems to me that between him and Clopton, they can actually spot a player out there.
There's definitely a spot a player, mate, and it's attitude. They get the right player with the right attitude there, because the boy Yefty's got a good attitude as well. The boy they just brought in for the right wing, Chevy, he's got a good attitude as well. Barn has superb attitude, absolutely superb attitude. The boy, what you call Proper, I seen him getting tore in, and I'm saying to myself, he looks like he's got the right attitude as well. It's just fighters, people who want to win, the will to win. That's what brings you through in a lot of games, mate. A lot of games, and I can see that happening. One of the things that everybody's talking about as well, if you don't mind me bringing it up, it's what sort of ties into what we're talking about, is why is Rangers so snobbish when it comes to signing Scottish players, or British players as I like to call them, or North British players, or whatever you want to call them. Don't like calling them Scottish players, mate. They're British players. But anyway, why are we so snobbish when we're trying to sign Scottish players? I mean, I've never heard so much nonsense in all my life. It's complete and utter nonsense. Just fabricated. Somebody's fabricated this, and the media's all jumped onto it, and everybody's jumped onto it. There's nothing further for the truth, mate. The reason Rangers are no signing Scottish players has nothing to do with Rangers and everything to do with the clubs they're dealing with. They will not deal with Rangers at a reasonable price. Now, people will jump on and go, "Oh, do you think we should just get players for nothing or a deal and all that?" I'm not saying that at all. But you've got to get a reasonable price, mate. And some of the prices they're asking for the Scottish players are not reasonable. But when a player does become available, and I'll talk about the boy Barn, for example, Rangers will move and get him. They've never stopped walking in there. The boy's out his contract, Rangers walked in. Have they missed opportunities? Aye, of course they have. But so's that mob across the city. They've missed tons of opportunities as well, mate. And they have got the money to go and buy these players, but they haven't. So this snobbery, there isn't any such thing as Rangers snobbery. Rangers are in all markets looking for the best players in their range and develop them into better players. That's a fact, mate. So I wish people would get after this case. Another negative towards Rangers. Rangers are snobs when it comes to signing Scottish players. Mince. It's total mince, mate.
Well, you think about it, mate, the reason probably why we go for the kind of free transfer is that when we look at, and you look at like a boy like Barn, say we tried to go for him when he was in contract, the minimum they'd be probably asking for is about 3 million. And
exactly.
And it's a 3 million risk. You know, I mean, the way our fans are sometimes we wasted the money, like we're talking about, like say Matondos and all the rest of the world, then you imagine we were chucking 2 million, 3 million at players. Even when you look back in the past, the likes of O'Hara and stuff like that, we wasted money there and we were very critical of it. So maybe the club's just like it says, maybe he's allowing the contracts to run down and then there's less of a risk. Because then if they come in a disaster, like i.e. a Scott Wright, then what it says, we're only having to deal with wages. We're not having to deal with a £4 million loss. You know what I mean? So I think... what I says, I think you're right, mate. If the player was available at the right price or the player was available in a free or a pre-contract, then I'm certainly sure that like say come on, he's not a silly man. I mean, he's clearly seen Barn and he's followed that, you know what I mean? So I think the club would, this, like you say, snobbery side of things, it's probably maybe been, it's maybe been there in the past with maybe some certain managers, not so much snobbery, but they've maybe wanted to look within their own leagues and where they know kind of to find players. But what it says, if you look at even McLeish's times. McLeish filled half his team with Scottish players that actually won his titles.
Yeah. But somebody's made this nonsense up and everybody's following it. I'm not following it for a minute, mate. I just know that if Rangers go to deal with the Scottish club, they'll deal with Rangers, but it's harsh, mate. It's going to be harsh. It's the Rangers price you're paying. The extra zero zone, know what I mean? And it's nonsense. Rangers decided we're not doing that. That's no snobbery, mate. That's good management. Saying I'm not doing it. But if a good quality player comes available on a free, well, we'll move from him, as the wee boy Barn has proved. A superb wee player, man. You're going on. But you're right. He's 3-4 million. If he's in contract, 3 or 4 million, we try to get him. But you might say he's worth it. Oh, he's definitely. No, he's no. No, he's no. You don't. Billy McKelty Hearts even back to Aberdeen. Would you sign a player for Kelty, straight for Kelty Hearts for £4 million? No, you wouldn't. So you've got to get the boy. The boy will go and have a great career, man. He's a great attitude. He's a brilliant wee player. At the moment, he's got the best attitude in their club by a distance, mate.
I think we've just been joined with a call. I think it's Andy for Leeds. Are you there, Andy?
Good evening, Garrett. Good evening, Albert.
Andy, how you doing?
Happy holidays, mate.
I've heard you for a while.
Well, I've just got back off for holiday and all that, right enough. I rang before I went out, and then we were out there for 10 days, right enough, so I've just been listening, and I thought I'll come in and contribute my wee bit and see whether I ruffled some feathers. Right, listen, right, see the man come on, right? I know his hands are tied behind his back and he ain't got money and he's definitely been shafted where he come in. But this guy has come from being a big, nobody will be bigger than this club. They're not performing, I will put them out and bring them in from being big. He's contradicting himself all the time now, in my opinion. If he's a clever manager, even with the players we've got on that, are you telling me he can't get better out of them players? Because them players are certainly not getting what they can. As bad as they are, they can play better. You've got, let's say, what he's told them all, or what we're led to believe, that, right, they're out of the door. Now, if he's that wise and he knows the money problems at Ibrox, why would he tell them all, right, you're out of this door, I want you out, I can't hold guns to the head, and by the way, I don't want you going forward, knowing that they're on massive wages that nobody will touch them. That's not very clever on a manager. So he's told the majority of their guys, we can't get rid of them, nobody wants them, or nobody can afford the wages that they're on, that's why they're sitting put. Now, them players are not going to get 100% for him. That's not wise on his part, in my opinion. I don't trust him. I think he couldn't do it. And I'll tell you what, after getting knocked out of Europe, he's been sitting there to send them out and go and do a bouncy with a young team. Oh, that's not Rangers. But after a couple of games, we've won nothing. You bouncy when we've won something. It's alarming what he's doing. Now, we're going to have to stick with him. I get that. 4 windows. I'm worried where we'll be at the end of 4 windows under him and the players that we've got with disposal just now. I think we're in serious trouble, guys. We are not improving. We are worse than last season on the game so far. We're shocking. We get guys that fall down as soon as somebody sneezes at them. Well, that's just my take on it. I can't say. You've got, as I see it, I'm being honest, and I'm alarmed. Now, if that means, and people out there that want to tell me I'm not right, I'm a Rangers fan, all right. Don't worry about that. I care. I mump my gums because I'm highly worried about where my club's going to end up here. That's my take on it.
Andy, I'll take like your points and sections. So we'll start off with the whole thing with Cantwell and Hadji. Albert, if, like I says, the window shuts and we don't move these boys out, I can't see us playing Hadji because, like I says, with this wages thing, if this is true with that rumour, then it's crazy for the club to do it. And again, like I says, I just can't see us wanting to pay a guy nearly 30 grand a week to sit in the B team. So I can't see that happen. I can see probably Hadji moving on. The Cantwell thing, I think that's where he's probably shot himself in the foot a wee bit, Albert. We needed a player like that to try and help us get through it, minimum to the next round of the Champions League, and it would have given us some money to try and reinvest in the squad. I definitely think he should have tried to manage that better. Now, we don't know the ins and outs yet. It could be that Cantwell totally down tools after telling him that I'm not interested, I just want to go and train with the B team. Then that's nothing on Clement. But like, surely, like I says, there's something there that you can't just really cut your nose off to spite your face, Albert. Your thoughts, mate, on these kind of things that's going on behind the scenes?
Right, I don't agree with Andy at all. No, I mean what you're saying. That's Andy's opinion. My opinion's the opposite of Andy's, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing. I don't want to agree going forward because it's good debate and it keeps us all fresh, mate. That's appreciate the points, Andy boy.
Listen, we're all entitled to them, aren't we? You know.
That's it, Paul. That's it. You're right there. But the one about the players sitting there like Cantwell and Hadji, both of them asked to get away, mate. Both of them asked to get away. So it's not today we come on telling them we don't want you and they're sitting there on big wages. They were going to be sitting there on big wages anyway, mate. It's the fact that they've got the big wages that's a problem. We've learned a lesson. Like, don't give these sort of contracts out or structure them the way you're structuring them. It's not right, mate. But that was the Clement. The touch on the one, Andy, about the bouncy with the young bears, there's a reason for that, mate. They're taking it out of context. He wasn't ever celebrating a victory, mate. He was ever there to appreciate the fans for turning up and staying at after the Ukraine game, after we get put out. Controversial circumstances we get put out, because we played all right in that game. And if we had our shooting boots on a wee bit more depth, we'd have won that game, mate. No doubt about it. The St Johnstone game was a game. I thought we played all right in St Johnstone. And this is a slow burn, mate. We're getting better. I don't care what anybody says, but we're definitely getting better. We're faster, we're direct. No just talking about the big punt. If you look at Jeffrey and the fullbacks and even the centre halves and even the midfielders, they all turn and move forward now. It's no this side to side and back. So that in itself is an improvement in my eyes. It's not a great improvement. I'm not trying to say we're Real Madrid or anything, but it's an improvement for that draws we were watching last year. Then you get the Hadji one, the Cantwell. We should be trying to talk them into staying. Why? Why we done it? We've learned our lesson with Loudrup with that one. Loudrup's a far better player than any of them. We talked him into staying. Look what happened. That was a year after garbage we got out of him, and he walked away anyway for nothing. Probably cost us well in the region of wages and all that, about £13 million at that time back in the day. We've learnt the lesson. If you want to go, you're gone. Now he walked in, Cantwell walked in and says, I want to go away. He told me to go and have a think about it, which he did do. He went away for a couple of weeks and had a think, come back and said, no, I still want to go away. Well, you want to go away, you want to go away. What do you want us to do? Bring him into the first team and let him run about with the first team, spreading discourse and amongst the squad? If you've turned around and said you don't want to play with Rangers, that means you don't want to play with these players. So why are you having them there? Stone them out of the B team. Put them, I don't care where you put them, but get them away for the first team squad. Same with Hadji. Hadji wants away. Hadji wants to play. He said he wants to play. I'm not saying Hadji's a bad player. I'm not saying Cantwell's a bad player. But it's attitude with the two of them. The two of them want to play. They're not going to get to play saying they want away. So I dare say with Hadji, it's commercial. It's nothing to do with football with him. Cantwell, I don't know. He's a confusing character. I couldn't even guess what's behind his motives. I don't know, mate. I just don't know. But that's my take on two of your points. I'll let GB take the other ones.
Andy, you welcome back in, mate?
Well, I'm aware of Specsavers tomorrow, because if you think we've improved football-wise, you're kidding yourself. I mean, that what do you call it, that left back, he's as bad as Tavernier for defending. A manager's decision, a manager's decision he should have seen last Tuesday night. He's supposed to be a big European manager. Keeps telling us he's won 3 trophies, 3 championships. Losing 6 and 7 games. You'll not lose 6 and 7 games in Scotland. Where's this? I've got a strong changing room. I've got a strong changing room. He's not saying it now because he knows that he's upset some of them players. They're not going to perform for him. It doesn't matter. We're definitely not improving. If that's his improving, I'm really, really worried. I really am. Now, I'm only talking up to now, Albert. Up to now, and what I'm saying, I'm not seeing any improvement, in my opinion. This, like I said, just my opinion. But what I'm saying is frightening. We've not got a goal scorer. So even if we make chances, we get no goal scorer. That will score. You'll get Dezes that'll get the odd goal or goals that in games. Well, they all matter. But apart from the filth with Aberdeen and all that, the games that we've got to win, does he score them? We need a striker. If he's staying, which it looks like, you need a good striker alongside him. At least somebody that's averagely or can hit at least 15, 16, 17 goals alongside him. Because we're not winning no league with that striker and that other guy, Denalio, that's been out. I don't think he's any better than Dezers. That's my fear with that. I just don't see. I think, look, he had to say he wanted to get him out. We all know that, right? But he's done that wrong. There's players in there that know they're not, and he's going to have to use them because we're not bringing anybody in. Nobody's coming in. So they players that he said that he don't want, they're going to have to play. And you know, we've had it for year on, year off. These players, when they don't want to play, they're down tools. Your man Sterling told you last season that they weren't pulling the weight in the Dundee and the Ross County games. And what did he do? Oh, it looks through my eyes, he took him out of midfield where we didn't lose a game for 6 games. And then as soon as he said that, I was a silly wee boy, and then he put him in every other position in the team. Disjointed him. I'm bigger than you. He's got an attitude problem, him. There ain't no doubt that all foreign managers seem to have that. And you see, the one thing is, if he's clever, right, with whatever system he's got or whatever plays, you have to learn to fight fire with fire in Scotland. If you're going to try the tactics he's got in Scotland, it ain't going to work. Why? Because they're going to kick 10 bells out of you. And that's the problem we've got. I get it, but adapt. You know, come in and adapt, and then maybe we'll start winning some games. When we're getting kicked all over the park, kick them back. No, but we'll keep going the way he's doing, you know?
Hold on, wait a minute, hold on. Let me get back to this. Who is in the team that he's told are in the squad? He's told, apart from the ones we're talking about, he's told that they're no welcome here. He's wanting rid of them. See the 11 team. No, but wait a minute. See the 11 that started on Saturday. Go through that. He's not told Butland that. He's told the whole squad that everybody's up for sale. No, but he's told everybody in the squad, everybody, bar Butland, that they're up for sale. Everybody. Yes. Right? He's got to say that because they are. Let's be honest, Andy, they are. Everybody's up for sale. It's just part of the parcel of where we are in modern day football. It's nothing against the guys per se. If somebody comes in with a good offer for these players, they're gone. He's not saying, I'm kicking you because you're rubbish and I want you rid of you for if any amount of money comes in, you're gone. He's not saying that to them. He's saying, look, everybody's got their price because that's the way we sit financially. By the way, make no mistake, that mob across the site are the exact same. They're trying to balance the books they know. They don't let them try and kid you on. They'll get this endless and pound pot of money. Every club has got to balance the books. That's all we're doing, mate. Balancing books. That's all it is. So there's nobody in that first team. Right, take that 11 that started on Saturday that he's told, we don't want you. We want to get rid of you. Now, wanting to get rid of somebody and telling you everybody's up for sale is 2 different things, Andy. So as far as I'm concerned, the guy's doing a good job of trying to build a squad. And where I'm saying we're improving, I'm not talking about last year, by the way. I don't think that the team last year was any good anyway. But I'm talking about this group of players starting for pre-season. They started the pre-season mince, and it was right through the games in pre-season mince. All the games, mince. The couple of wee flashes here, there, and everywhere, but in general, mince. Faye then, they've started to get better. They played Hearts. Hearts struggled to get a draw against us. Let's be honest, mate. They struggled equally as much as we didn't play well to get a draw. Right, fine. Then we go into the next game. The Ukraine game, home and away. We were the better team than them, mate. I don't care what you say. We were the better team than them. Okay, they went through. Forget about how they went through and all that. They went through, and that's the bottom line. St Johnstone, if we were shooting boots on, and you're right with the forwards, I totally agree with you, the forwards. If they'd have shooting boots on, I'm telling you right now, 2 of the forwards should score 2, and the centre forward should score the hat trick in a perfect day. That's what you're talking about here. It doesn't happen because the quality is probably no there for the centre forwards. And one of the wingers, I think Chefney on the right wing is a decent player. Matondo, well, I'm with there. I don't think he's good enough for Rangers. But I don't see this negativity everybody's getting. Remember, we're trying to build a team. And it's never going to be instantly brilliant, but it's getting better. There's no doubt about it. Are we ready to take them on? No, probably not. Are we ready to go and win the league? For this standpoint right now, probably not. Are we going to cups? Are we going to win? Probably not. But we're getting better. You've got to see it. We're getting better. Are we going to get beat along the way? Probably. I don't want us to get beat. You don't want us to get beat. Neither wants us to get beat. But you've got to sit back and say, right, what's the alternative, Andy? Just get rid of Clement. He's not a good manager. We don't know if he's a good manager. He's not had a chance to prove that he's a good manager. He's just trying to build a team from practically scratch. and a whole football department to boot. I mean, just add that in your spare time. Just rebuild the whole football department. Me personally, I think we need to give him a chance, mate. Honestly, I really do. It's no fair what was getting said about him.
Yeah, did I say get rid of him? I said we'll have to stick with him. I said I don't rate him as a manager. He contradicts himself. I don't like. So
you want to keep a manager you don't rate? What's the point of that? We've got. So you must be wanting rid of him.
No, hang on, Albert. We can't get rid of him because of the situation we're in. I'm not stupid. We can't afford to sack managers. We ain't got money. We've got an incompetent board that lets contracts run down, that cocks up on more or less everything they do. They can't win a case in court with the lawyers. They were a basket case all the way around. I understand all that. I'm not naive. But we started out with what's on the pack. What's on the pack, in my opinion, is not good enough. It can't get the job done. As long as they've been there, and we don't know about the new ones, but they can't get the job done. 3 trophies out of 27.
Right.
If that's being negative, if I'm being negative, right, all I'm saying is my concerns is we're winning nothing and we're going nowhere. And if that...
that's my concern. That's my concern.
Yeah, if that upsets people, then I'm not bothered. That's just my opinion.
We'll not talk generalisation. We'll get any specifics now. Think of the team in Saturday. Right. Tell me in that team who you didn't like.
I don't like most of them at the club because I don't think they're good enough.
So you don't like any of the 11? You don't like any of the 11?
Butland and what do you call it? The wee one in the middle. Who else is there in it? Barron. I like him. But I don't like him personally. I don't like what they're giving for my club. And that's my opinion. I've seen good players at Rangers that had hard times, but you knew they cared. I know it's a modern day football now where they don't care, but why would I rave about these players that are giving nothing to the club? Why would I? I'll be lying to myself and I'll be lying on this show. None of them enthrall me at all, other than 2 or 3 players. I mean, Campbell, I get you Campbell stuff. I couldn't care less. If he don't want to be there, go. I don't have a problem with that. But the way he was treated from day one, offer the man Clement, has been shocking. The way he manhandled him after the cup final. When the filth guys were all around him giving it, his manager practically throws him out of the way. You get a swatch of the way he looked at Campbell that day. Christ, if looks could kill. You know what I mean?
And because what he's trying to say...
Boys, I'll jump in. Trees are making great points, but I just want to get the jingle in because I think you've started a good... Trees have actually got a good debate going, and I want to welcome any other bears out there that want to add to it. Do you agree with Andy or do you agree with Albert? To be fair, and bang in the middle, there's something there because, come on, what I will say is that Clement should have handled the whole Campbell situation, I think, a lot better. You've got a talented player there, and we are short of talented players. But going back to it, let's hear from you. Let's get the jingle on.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show. It's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Albert, a subject that you and Andy actually might agree on is the whole sports science side of things. Where I'm probably critical of Clement is that he's coming out and saying that certain guys need time, need minutes, and all the rest of it. And yet you've got Tavernier, who's been playing nearly every minute it's gone, and then you've got Dessers up front, who's been playing every minute it's gone. Now, granted, we've only got Dessers up front, but what I say you can't have that one side saying that you've got to follow sports science, and the other side you've got to just run a couple of guys into the ground. So where's the kind of 50-50, Albert?
Well, no, I'm understanding with that is he's just telling you there's different metabolisms, for a better way of putting it. There's different. They're no robots. They don't all do the same thing. So you've got to treat certain players certain way for certain injuries, certain training regimes. My argument is no that. My argument is I don't think the people that are actually doing it and recognise that are competent. I just don't. You can't have all these injuries, mate. I just hark back to the injuries because it's a fact, and it's happened again this season as well. Why has it happened this season? I'm not quite sure. But what we're waiting for now is to find out how fast 2 or 3 of these players come back, and that's a sort of measure. Are we getting anywhere with that background? The medical staff and science staff, are we getting anywhere with them? So, like the Cortez, 46 weeks. You're looking at Ridvan, 46 weeks. You're saying Big Balogun's been out for what, a week, maybe 2 weeks, with a slight knock. So we're looking at them in terms of saying, right, if you're going to get them back within that time scale, or sooner, then we're improving. Because last year we just get 6. We get a number, whatever number it was, double it and then treble it, because that's what was happening. Half of these players were out for months and months and months at a time. So I'm just saying they're incompetent. I don't know what Andy thinks, but that's what I think. I just think they are totally incompetent.
Well, the guys that are telling Clement about his plays and all that. Oh, definitely. Yeah. I think that Clement's hiding behind that a wee bit. No, I would be turning around and say, well, he looks all right to me or whatever. I mean, they're football players. They're supposed to play 90, nearly 100 minutes in some games these days. Some of them that might not want to be there, let's just say that, could be hiding behind these doctors and telling them what to do. You know, when you're struggling and all that, they don't want to roll the sleeves up. Hard game in Scotland. And I think we've got players like that in the team as well. By the way, I'll throw another one. I like Suter for his endeavour. He keeps trying. So that's 3.
3 out of 19 is not bad.
I might be able to move it up a bit if they start playing a wee bit better, eh?
Aye. You don't mind, he's no bad. A lot to learn, but he's not bad playing.
Anyway,
apart from that. I don't know. He'll grow up. He's only young, he's 20. But anyway, back to the medical stuff. These faceless people. You know what I mean? If you looked on Saturday as well, there's a lot of black tracksuits on that bench, and I'm looking at them, I'm going, who the hell are these people? I don't understand who they all are, but I really shouldn't know of it anyway. But like Andy says, are they telling the truth, or is Clement just swinging the lead? I don't think Clement's swinging the lead, because it's no in his interest to swing the lead like that. Know what I mean?
I think, boys, you see the thing is, we put that boy in for Brighton, didn't we? That he was either the physio or the fitness coach or whatever. And I think, Andy, that's where I agree with you, mate, is that we're not seeing. Obviously, it's still early days, but that guy's had them on a pre-season, and to be honest, I've not seen blistering like fitness out of the team. I've seen a tired team half the time out there, and that's where I question that. Where's the, like you says, we've picked up some injuries as well. Maybe some of them unlucky, but like we shouldn't be looking tired now. I mean, it's the start of the season.
Yeah, well, that's me and Shuggs was saying that right enough. He said, we look knackered, we look tired, run out. It's only the start of the season, man. We should be getting stronger every game. I don't see that. I don't see that at all. It's just my opinion. Like I said, everybody's entitled to their opinion. But what I'm saying is concerning me. I'm concerned about what's going to happen with our club. It's all our club and where we're going. And these last few years, we're going nowhere. We're getting worse season on, season off. We're not going forward. And if that's going forward, I'm alarmed. That's where I'm coming from.
Albert, what do you think about the comments Clement saying that we should judge the team kind of around about October time? Do you think he's kind of set himself up there a wee bit, that if the team's not improving by October, then he's this, like I says, he's opened himself up for mere criticism?
Well, I think we're improving it now, right? I can see the improvement now. Andy does see the improvement now. So when we get to October, it doesn't matter. There's some going to see it, oh, we're a bit better. And some are going to say, oh, we're worse. Oh, we're just the same. It's just your opinion, mate. You can't say everybody's going to turn around and say, oh, we're playing great. As I said before, it's results, mate. The results will determine everything, what it's going to say. Andy's frustration, like every other Rangers supporter, myself included, is all born out of bad results and no winning trophies. That's what it's all born out of. I mean, let's be honest. If we were winning trophies and winning games, we wouldn't be having this conversation. We just wouldn't be having this conversation. It's just win games. That's the problem, mate. And to win games, it's about attitude first and foremost. Then it's about talent. Then it's about fitness. Or it's the other way about. Put it any order you want, but you need to have these 2 or 3 things in place to win games. But come October, I think he's made a rod for his own back regarding the media. Oh, they'll jump all over it, man. I mean, first defeat in October, they're going to crucify him. That's a fact. But the man said, the man seems to know what he's talking about when he's saying they're going to be this and they're going to be that. We'll see, mate. They can't get any more unfit because they don't look. I'll agree with that. They don't look fit and they don't look they can last a 90-minute game. Not most of them, but a few of them don't look like they can last a 90-minute game. Tavernier looks as if he's towing a caravan, but he's back for injury, but he's playing all the minutes now. Is that because he's the team captain? Is that because he's not got another right back that doesn't want to play still at right back? I don't know. But so far, as somebody's pointed out, we've played 4 or 5 games and we've had 7 injuries so far. Work that one out, mate. I don't know. I don't know what's happening. The Raskin man is an injury for pre-season. You can understand that one. That was a bad tackle that guy put on him. But the Bridvan, for example, takes a shot and falls down. He's stretchered off. I mean, I don't understand that at all. One shot, you're injured. How do you get injured having a shot? It's different if somebody's blocked it or something or come in to tackle you. But he just took a shot and then fell down. Same as the Cortez, you know what I mean? Falls down, bruised knee, hurt his knee because he fell down. He didn't actually twisted it half the part, as I said before. But these are the sort of things that's confusing. Now, we've got a weakened squad and depth and all that carry on. We don't need this. We need every man to the pump because we can't afford to carry all these injuries anymore. We never could. We definitely can't do it now because our squad is pretty limited now, numbers-wise, quality-wise. So what's your take on it? I've given my take on it. I don't know what else to say about that medical team because they confuse the hell out of me.
It's time all bear into it. I think that's all it is. Like he says, the manager said about patience and stuff like that. I think it's just, he's brought new guys in. The Doc War's been there with Gerrard, and that was probably one of our best times for 0 injuries and high fitness and stuff like that. So I think what it says, it's basically patience that we're going to have to wait for. But Andy, do you think some of this, like these worries, will be sorted if we actually get some more signings in through the door?
Yeah, we might get a couple of loanies. I think we need 2 or 3 signings over the end, but we ain't got the money. I'm not that naive or stupid. And that. Listen, I want to see improvement. I want to see us getting better, even if it's for this mob we've got there now. Just shows what I believe to see. Some kind of difference, some kind of want to win, some kind of pride of playing for that, that jersey ours that we're all proud of, that we think about every day. Listen, I want to come on this radio. It hurts me and it makes me poorly to come on and talk like this. People telling me that I'm not a Rangers fan. I'm sick of hearing that. I've followed Rangers all my life, and if that's what they think, that's up to them. I know what I am, right? So with all these comments that are coming in there in the feed, right? Just bear in mind here, we've all got an opinion. But see, when you get right down to it, I want to come on at 55 and have the happy season that we all had on Rangers Radio. I've been listening to this show for a lot of years, and we ain't done well. And it's been a lot of years, and that's taken its toll. I'll put my hands up on that one. I hate seeing what's happening to our club.
I'm going to disagree with you, mate. It has took its toll as well, mate. It really is. It's, and I agree, can he keep going on? But at the end of the day, we all shouted for the clear-outs and got the place and start for the scratch, near enough start for scratch. And that's what we're getting right now. So we've got to suck it up, mate. We're all screaming for it, myself included. We're all saying it. So we've got it. Now we need to say, right, what we're going to do. We need to put it all back together now. We need to build the team, build the club. We all put it back together. I know it's been going on for years, mate. I hate it. I know I hate it as much as you and all the rest of the Rangers fans. We all hate it. But we've got to do it, mate. We've got to suck this up and go on, mate. And it's no nice. I know I agree with you. But I'm not going to slag the team off when I truly think we're getting better. That's my opinion, Andy. I know it's not yours, but it's mine. And you're entitled to yours.
That's the beauty in it all, better being Rangers fans. That you should be allowed to have your opinion without people making absolute shite comments. Do you know what I mean? It's my opinion, and that's all it is. And they're entitled. Do you know something, Albert? I don't care about anybody's opinion. I do not care, right, about that. They're all entitled to them. And I wouldn't I'll disagree if I think, I'm right at how I see it. But I don't disagree with theirs. That's how they see it, and they're entitled to that. But when I'm getting told by people that I'm not a Rangers fan, the stuff I've been to follow Rangers, I'm not having that. You know what I mean?
No.
I'm as good a Rangers fan as anybody out there.
Quite right, mate. Quite right. That's
Well said, Andy. Well
absolutely
said.
true.
Well, Bear, many of you home to get in now. We're 2 weeks away now for the transfer window shutting.
3 or 4, mate. That's what I'm wanting. I think we're going to get that. Probably not. But that's what I'm wanting. 3 or 4, mate. Centre half, centre midfield, centre forward.
What about you, Andy?
I'm the same. Yeah, if we could just strengthen one, all the positions with just one good player, one at the back, one in the middle, one up front, it would be a hell of a big start, would it not? But a guy that's been seasoned, that knows the score, probably not a well beater, but knows how to get the job done. And we're all team lacks that at the moment. You've got a wee boy Barron coming in, really impressed with him. But we're either going to burn him out, we're not putting anybody at the side of him. He's really trying hard. I personally think if he stays and he get people, I think he could be the future Rangers captain. I genuinely believe that. He's got an engine about him. He's got a will to win. We just need to get players that are going to fight like him. See if you put your heart in there. They're only blood, flesh and bones. I've said this before a million times. Stand up to these people. If you stand up to them, things can change. Things do change because you don't ball it. We pull out of so many 50-50s now for a Rangers team. How, we've never known that. Even when we were bad in the first 9 in a row and all that, we get stuck in. Fight fire with too many lightweights. I don't know if they can't handle the game up there. It's physical. Like I say, it's the worst league in the world, caught to everybody. I'll tell you what, put it in the top league for hardness and getting stuck in, we'd be winning it every year on that. It's murder ball playing up there. But you have to have players that's going to adapt to it, or even the guys he's got in, they're going to have to toughen up. If they don't, the same old story, isn't it? I want to see Rangers going forward like everybody else does. I want to come on here and say, see we Barron tonight, or even Managerial. I don't think what came here because he can put a cross in, but he can't defend. I only talk to now. If Rangers turn around and go on a 10-game run, I'll come on and I'll tell you. I just speak to where we are now, and where we are now, I'm not liking, and I'm not apologising for it. No.
Oh, I
just
don't
saying
apologise.
it as I see it.
No, I mean, an opinion, the opinion's right, and the opinion's right. It's only an opinion, mate. Don't listen to the people who say you're not a Rangers supporter.
Listen, Albert, I think you know me. You met me. I don't. Don't bother me what people say to me.
Water off a duck's back, mate. Water off a duck's back. But anyway, I agree with some of your points. No, all your point, but that's good. That's good. It's called a debate. It's called about looking at different angles for Rangers supporters and taking it all on board. And eventually, as GV's pointed out, there is middle ground there somewhere that we're all going to agree on. It's a fact of life. But the bottom line is win games, mate. It changes everything. Clement knows it. He knows it. Just start winning games, and it's just the whole atmosphere just changes overnight.
And entertaining football, isn't it? That's all. Like it says, if you're seeing that and you're seeing goals, then everything else kind of flows for there.
I mean, you don't make a cake with starting off with a cherry, mate, do you? the detracted football is the cherry. Let's make the cake first, know what I mean? So we need to build the team and win games and build the team, and then you'll see a difference. Then you say, we'd like to see a wee bit more attractive football. What that actually looks like when you're getting beat 3-0, I don't know, mate. But if you're winning a scrappy, horrible 1-0, 2-0, but if it wasn't very good, you'll be more happy with that, mate, than getting a nice, attractive 3-0 defeat. So I'm with you, mate. I like attractive football. I like good football. I like to see Rangers winning best of all.
That's it. Like you say, if the results weren't as scrappy, then I think we'd probably be in a happier place. But we're nearly there. We're nearly up to the tune time, and I think we've got James from Tennessee waiting in the background as well. So we'll get a wee tune. So if you want to get yourselves on mute, we're going to have a wee tune.
Just what the Rangers really mean to me. These last few years I've been afraid that we might drift away. So let made me think about where we come from. That's the reason why I feel so very proud today. So let me tell you that I love you, and I think about you all the time. I wish Irish was me, and now I'm coming home. To think of life without the Rangers, you know that it would make me warm and sad. Glasgow Rangers is everything I've ever had. We won 9 in a row, and I'm still dreaming of Brian Landry and Trevor Stephen. Marvin Andrews said, keep believing. Davy Cooper on the wing. We remember Gaza with great affection. The day the helicopter changed direction. Jimmy Baxter, he was pure perfection. Super Ali scores again. Well, let me tell you that I love you, and I think about you all the time. Ibrox Stadium's cozy, and now I'm coming home. To think of life without the Rangers, you know that it would make me old and sad. Glasgow Rangers is everything I've ever had. To think of life without the Rangers, you know that it would make me more sad. Glasgow Rangers is everything I've ever had.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Hey, Joe, we're all back.
Yep, I'm back, mate.
I think what we can all agree on is that Clement's here to stay. So what says the hopes are that what says he gets more of these signings in that we're seeing flourishing, and what says that a couple of more signings like Yefty and Tierney. What says we think we'll be all right, will we?
Oh, definitely, mate. Definitely. If he gets them in, if he gets a bit of experience into the team, especially right in the spine, a prolific goal scorer, or as near a prolific goal scorer as we fucking, as we can afford, mate. I think we'll be fine, mate. I think we'll be fine. We're getting there. We're getting there. We'll see. We'll see. It's a long, long season, mate, and anything can happen in a season. You never know. You just never know. But don't write the Rangers off. Andy's no right Rangers off. He never would. But don't write us off, mate. Write us off at our peril.
And the new signings, like say Tierney and stuff like that, says they're showing that they've got quality, and obviously that means the manager can spot a player, and Klopp can spot a player as well. I think what it says, mate. I think if we just get a couple more of them in, then we're just going to have to let the team settle and build on it. Like you were saying earlier, mate, we can't get rid of him, but we've just got to go with it. But what I think he needs to do is stop with the power.
Aye. Well, I mean, look, Jenny, like he's in games and no in games. Like I get that they've got to have time. You know what I mean? And he's a winger. Well, wingers are usually temperamental at the best of times, so you've got to give him time. I get that. But I said, look, I'm as concerned as everybody else. I just want to see Rangers win. That's all I want. I don't care if it's pretty or out. I just want to see the W's that gets points on the board to make us challenge for the league. I don't think that's much to ask. We all want that, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I think we've been joined. With James.
How's it going, GB?
Good, mate. Good. Thanks very much for phoning in. What's your points for tonight, mate?
And Old Bear and Andy from Leeds. Got a few points. Yeah, good. How's the wife?
She's excellent. She's sitting listening to the show, mate.
Good.
Give us a point at a time, James, so we can discuss, mate.
Okay. First of all, it was always a bugbear of mine about Sky, how they give us so much for the league. And I wrote something on a Celtic supporter wrote on one of the platforms, and I said Rangers will win 2-0 against them, and 56, etc. And he was quite rude. But the main point I was going to make, Sky, if people voted with their feet or cancelled the subscription, we fight in a war with Britain. If there's a war, we're called up, but they'll not let us join the league. And that's been like that for a long time. So if 10%, they lost 10% of their revenue, because that's what the Americans do. If they don't like you, they'll bump you. And if they lost 10% of their revenue, Sky, they would give us a lot more money. And people wouldn't call it. A guy called about Matondo, actually from Leeds, saying that's a farmers' league. And I wrote back, said, well, you're not exactly in the Premiership, Leeds. And he never said anything. So that's one point.
Next one, mate.
You want the next one as well? Right. Okay. You're talking about Cantwell. Cantwell had a bad reputation before he came out in Norwich. Don't sign players that try and hold on to the ball because they're a target for people taking off them. You hold on to the ball nowadays, people will say, oh, come here. So we don't need players played one touch to the next person, and he had a bad reputation. The other thing is Hadji. Hadji got a very bad injury against Sterling, and the guy should have been sent off for that, by the way. And sometimes we don't protest about these injuries, and we should call the referee out, just like St Johnstone about VAR, about that whistle call. They're quick to jump, and everybody else is quick to jump, and the team across the city. So we should have called way back about Hadji getting that bad injury, but he tries for Romania. He's not interested in playing here. He's only saying that because nobody else is taking him. You know what I mean? And the other thing is Ruth. I said way back when he signed, don't sign players that are injury prone. You need to sign like Clement's doing now, young players will not be in the early prime of their football career. Because don't sign guys with bad reputation and older players that are all injured. It just doesn't work. And just the last point is, right, we're playing Celtic. I actually watched them. I was sick. I didn't go to church on Sunday. Actually, I was sick. So I watched them on the TV. I was a bit bored. Maeda played quite well. And what we need to do is close down the wings and don't let them cross the ball. See if you close down the wings with them. They're not a great team. Make sure we've always got plenty of bodies in each wing. Kibbs played 5. That's my point.
Good points, James. Right. Well, take the first one. Albert and Andy, I'll come at you next, mate. The Sky thing. It's a thing years ago we kind of let slip through our hands a bit. We had them. I mean, the time that Old Firm were at their peak, Sky were our best buddies, and for some strange reason, I think that when we let that deal end, didn't we? That's when we started going to Santanta and all that carry on, and that's when really Sky ended up they knew that they had us by the you-know-wits. I mean, I think they knew that we're always going to go cap in hand to them because it's the only TV that's actually interested in the Scottish League.
That we know him, mate. We don't know that for a fact, but they're they're not interested in Scottish football. I mean, let's be honest, they're completely not interested. They're interested in the Old Firm, and that's about it. Maybe the Dundee and at the end, but maybe. But they're not interested, mate. Totally. The much of the pay into the game proves it. The way the contemptuous way they treat us proves it as well. We get some crazy TF times, and for 3 o'clock Saturday, if it was being killed by Sky companies like Sky and TV deals in general. As far as I'm concerned, I would put it out to tender and see what we can get, because at the end of the day, if they didn't want to back the game, I don't see it was much of a problem. I know some teams will say it is, but something's better than nothing. I don't actually think that's true, mate. I think we're being held to ransom for nothing, absolutely nothing, and we're letting them dictate to the authorities in charge of the game. Too much say for too little money.
And probably the voting system as well is hindered us when they brought in that all the leagues or 2 of the leagues could vote. When you're talking, you're only needing a certain majority, and then that's it voted through. It's a thing that we just had. It's a thing that we had to just put up with because we were put down to the lower leagues. Yeah, well, look, I mean, we all know the score there, don't we? When Sky had us, and it started. Scottish football started out on Sky B Squarial thing, if you remember, and they just had the 5 channels, but their big punchy was Scottish football and Italian football, and then Sky gobbled them up. I don't think we didn't get a great deal, but we got a far better deal than what we got the new. And then we come out of Sky up in Scotland. They messed it up, if you remember, wanting to do their own channel and all that, if you remember. And that's what it messed it up. So we ended up with that Santanta channel. They went bust. So we're just going back for scraps now. Sky, as Albert just said, they just want the Old Firm games, possibly the Edinburgh derbies and the Dundee derbies. They're no bother about the rest of it. And that's why, we're getting shot on that. What did they do when we went down? That would have practically killed the Premier League. So what did they do? They changed it all around and took the television rights that we were getting full houses all the way. I remember that Spanish commentator, Geir Balogun. He actually came over and said, "This is unbelievable. Look at the support here, and this is a so-called bottom-tier league, although we won, but we were as where they put us." We would have better getting that Longmore that was in charge of the old Scottish First Division and running with him and getting him at the top of it. He was a fair-minded guy, and I think it would have been fairly, it would have been better done. But the voting system and the way they've got it, we're behind the 8 ball because they've got all the power now, and we've let that happen ourselves by turning a blind eye and not standing up as a club and putting our foot down. We've always been kind of soft. Albert will know what I mean here. We've always gone with that dignity thing and not really stood up for ourselves. We'll deal with it our way. But as it's gone on in modern days, it's killing us because of what they're doing to us, and we're not willing to fight back. There's a million. We could be here all night and tomorrow night just on that subject alone. James, James, I think one of the things to kind of add in amongst that with the TV thing, where I've been surprised, mate, and especially with the amount of money that's came into the Premier League and came into even championships and League One teams. Christ, even if you look at Ryan Reynolds for Wrexham and stuff like that, I can't understand why there's no been somebody interested in Rangers in the sense that knowing that we are guaranteed European football every season, and I know the league isn't the best, but I don't know, if you're trying to get your product out there, you'd want it on the European stage, and even if you did ploy a bit of money into it, we're still getting into Champions League qualifiers. If we built a decent enough team, I would say we would still be there. We might be cannon fodder every season in Champions League, but at least, like I say, as a business venture, you would always be there near enough every season.
Yeah, one question, right. My question was, why does the people not rise up against Sky with the question that we fight for using a award, but you won't let us in the Premiership? Say, what would happen if Rangers get into the Premiership and that other lot didn't? The English Premiership, what would happen to it? That would be amazing. That would be amazing. And if the people rose up and said, "We're cancelling your subscription because you're not treating the Scottish people the way they should," You let Welsh teams play. What about us? Right? And that's what they do boycotting America. Never mind about, just say to them, just get a petition saying, we want in the Premiership. We want the same money if you're not giving us that, or get us in there. And the people should rise up. And it's been laughing.
You'll not do it that way.
And then you'll not get the fun.
You'll not do it that way, James. You'll not do it that. I agree with your sentiments, mate. Totally, 100% agree with you. But you'll not get it that way. The way you will get it is scrapping this Scotland, England, Wales, FAs. That's the way you're going to do it, mate. It's got to be a British league, a British team. You've got to scrap it that way. And the way you scrap it that way is you go to FIFA and UEFA and get them to change their minds and say, you're either Great Britain or you're no Great Britain. What is it? You can't have 3 teams for this island playing at international football. You must have one national team. Once you get that, you then say you have one national league. One national league right up and down the country, mate. Or leagues with pyramid effect in it. That's the way you do it, mate. For taking Sky on, Sky's game is a waste of time, mate. People know that. People know unsubscribe to Sky because they watch other things. It's no all about football. It's a large part of it, but you're talking about kids' programs, TV programs for people that are non-football fans. You know what I mean? Films and all that. It's all that, mate. But you can't take Sky on. If Sky would just give £1 billion to Scotland over 3 years, it's like they're doing the £5 billion they're getting to that mob down there. What a difference that would make. But they'll tell you it's all about popularity. Who wants to watch the Scottish game? Why should we plough money into something that nobody's going to watch? That's what their argument is. It's like the women's game. Why the women don't get paid more? Because they don't fill stadiums. They start filling stadiums, they get paid as much as the men. It's all about ticket sales, mate. It's all about popularity, who you want to watch. But as far as I'm concerned, you don't ask to get in the Premiership. Ask for the Premiership to be wrecked, mate. It shouldn't be in existence, in my opinion. It should be a British league, British leagues with a British FA, with a British team, or a UK team, even if you want. That's what I think.
Let's go for it then.
That's what I think. I'm with you, mate. I'll go for it. I'll go for it in a minute.
Andy, it's easier said than done, though, isn't it? Like the English FA are absolutely ploughing in millions. I mean, they're an institution now. There's no way that that's as much as I would love it, I know, Albert and James. The English FA, I think they purposely like being like kind of number one, looking down on like say Scotland, Ireland, and Wales and stuff like that, and it'll always be that way because of the amount of money it's in their league.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's like anything, isn't it? When you're not going to give. You know what I mean? We'll sit at the big table and you'll take the scraps. The only way around it, but there'll be regulations for not being able to do it. But if you take in 250,000 that turned out to Manchester, if all the clubs were allowed to have their own TV right subscriptions to the fans, then we would make millions. There would be no doubt, because you would just pay your Rangers channel and watch your games live, wouldn't you? If you let it go out. But there'll be something about the regulation. I know we've got Rangers TV and all that, but if you took away, I mean, Sky's losing a lot. The only thing they've got left now is the Premier League. I mean, they ain't got much. They had everything. Now it's this channel's got this. I mean, you've got to have 4 different channels to watch the Rangers now, and then the Rangers TV as well. People can't afford that as well. I don't know how to go about it, but there's no way. I mean, even at that, the stepping block, where they're going to let all these Rangers and them come down every second week in England, and there would be no point if we were allowed to play in them leagues if we couldn't take his fans away. That's the whole idea of it, in my opinion. For me, if I was doing in England, it'd be great. I would be going to the games. But if the support up the road couldn't come down and see the Rangers, then that defeats the object as well. There's 1,000,001 things that it will remain the way it's always remained. They'll get richer, and unfortunately for us, we'll get poorer. It's as simple as that. And our teams, of the ilks of our league, they'll get it. But having said that, some of them leagues, Holland and all that, they get far bigger payouts, don't they, through their rights to Sky and all that. So we are not negotiating right. We'll look at the puppets that are in charge of it and the deals that they're getting. That says it all in itself, doesn't it? There's 1,000,001 things, Gary, isn't there?
Mm-hmm. Oh, aye. Good topic, James. We'll take your next one. I think it was on Cantwell. We kind of touched on it earlier, Albert. And I think you made the most solidest point that Cantwell's the one that's made the choice. He's made it plain and clear. Where I'll jump back to kind of Andy's point on Cantwell is that I think the manager, like I says, pushing him away at the end of the cup final. That wasn't for me either. Like I says, I know you're trying to stamp authority and stuff like that, but again, I just think the whole Cantwell situation could have been managed better.
No, the reason he's pulling him away, he's bringing the game into disrepute, and he's acting like a clown. No, I mean, he's going up to the referee, going to attack the referee. We get beat, mate. If you don't want to attack the referee, or want to do anything with referees, or get your feelings out there, score goals and win games, mate. That's what Clement was trying to tell him. You're over here greeting and shouting and showing all your passion. Show your passion on the game, during the game. Score goals and win games, mate. Create goals. That's what we're paying you today. Not to fight with referees. It was stupid. Look, you get took off in the European game, and I still hear people talking about that one. That was ridiculous. Why Cantwell get treated? It was ridiculous why Cantwell treated the manager. That was the bad bit. You get instructions where you want him to play. An important part of the team, play there. No, I don't want to play there. I'm going to play where I want to play. Oh, if that's the case, all the players could say that. Well, I don't want to play left back. I'm going to have to play the wing. Oh, we've not got anybody at full back. I don't care. I'm going to have to play in the wing. I mean, there's got to be some authority and somebody in charge here. You can't have people like Cantwell, who's a bampot. Let's be honest about it. It's a bampot. You can't have him running about doing what he wants to do. Oh, he's a maverick. I don't mind mavericks if they're destroying teams and we're winning leagues with them and cups and they're dangerous on the park. But what you'll find with Mavericks play when they want to play. And if they don't want to play, well, they just don't bother. They're not that particularly bothered about the team either. They're not particularly bothered about winning anything. They're interested in showing you how good and how flamboyant they are. That's why most teams don't like Mavericks in their team. They're unpredictable and you can't rely on them. They play for themselves. And that's Cantwell. He plays for himself. So as far as I'm concerned, he can go. In fact, I think we should all chip in and pay for his flitting and get rid of him. Because if you don't want to play for the Rangers, you're a bampot as far as I'm concerned, mate. A total and utter bampot. Just slip him into a straitjacket, take him away a rubber cell.
Andy, are you concerned how long it's taking Cantwell to get out the door?
Aye, he said nothing as well, which is I'm not saying he might not have been told or is restricted to say anything. So he said nothing to dismiss what Clement said about him, has he? Look, like I said, if you don't want to play for Rangers, that don't matter who it is. If it was my favourite player, I know. And back in the day, if you didn't want to play for Rangers, you wouldn't have been around long. So I don't have a problem with that. If he's gone and he's causing trouble, then see you later. I get what Albert said there, but there were all the filth players were having to go at him and all that. There's a way, for me, on the Cantwell one after the cup final, there's a way of taking somebody away. As a manager can put his hands around him and take them away that way. He flung him away. And that don't look good to me. That in my eyes. I don't like stuff like that. You know what I mean? You want to have a right go with each other. Well, don't do it in front of the cameras. Get down the tunnel and get nose to nose. Do what you want to do. But if you looked at the way he actually threw him away there was a look that I wanted to kill. And I made that comment to Shugs and anybody else I've spoke to you about since. Whether he's good enough, well, if he discards his manager, then he deserves what he gets, and I'll agree with
that. James, mate, your thoughts on the Cantwell situation?
I'd agree with Andy. Andy's entirely correct. He shouldn't have done that. Manager's got to keep control. But the thing of football, Messi is the leader of the gang. The power Messi's got because he's one of the best players in the world. He controls that Argentine team, which are a very bad example of sportsmanship. The songs, the way they go towards referees, etc. So they're really, really bad. Because he's the best player and their team got away with murder, but he shouldn't have done that. He should have said, no, step away. He shouldn't have grabbed him. I agree with that. Before we jump back to your third point, mate, just your kind of overall thoughts the start of the season, and obviously we were talking earlier about the stadium settling down now that the steel's here, and that's another court case being sorted out of court, and
you think, like I says, we just need things to settle down now and hopefully we just need to let the team flourish?
I think things can change very rapidly. We can go with Andy coming on maybe in a month's time really happy. Life can change. The team could get better. We can see what he's trying to do. He's bringing in young players, no guys that are injured. He's giving them a chance. He's a boss, by the way, because if, say we made Andy the manager, Andy, would you like criticism from all the Rangers supporters? Would you listen to them?
I would try and listen to some, take on board, because listen, you're not always right, are you? Many words from many people you take on board, some you throw away. If I wasn't doing the job, I'd expect to be criticised, but I'm just Andy. I'm not. It was a different ballgame being under that scrutiny and that pressure. He's showing signs to me of aging already. He looks like the job's too big for me. I see that. Now, people might totally disagree with me, but he don't look right from when he first walked through that door. And that all he's done from day one, he knows how toxic the fans were, and that's still there. It ain't gone away. Anybody kidding themselves because a tsunami's coming if Rangers lose on Saturday or drop points to them or whatever. It's the nature of the beast. That's the Rangers support. It just happens that way. We all know that. As I said, I know he can't go. Would I want him to stay? No. But we ain't got the money, so he has to stay, and he has to hopefully get the job done. I don't trust him, and I won't back down on that, you know.
All bear the done too much, James. All bear the flip side of that is that, I mean, I also got Ross County first, but say we go to Parkhead, we put in a performance, come away with a draw, that's going to set them off more than it's going to set us off. I mean, they're sitting thinking they're on cloud nine now with all these signings, teams flying and all the rest of it. But if we go to Parkhead and we ruffle the feathers a bit, then like James says, it can change very quickly.
Results, mate. Results change everything. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how you're playing, where you're playing, who you're playing. Results change everything. And if. No, we're getting in there with, we don't know what kind of squad we're going to have getting in there, but one thing's for sure, it's not going to be a settled squad. You get in there with a lot of young boys. Everything's for them. They've banned their fans for no good reason, which they should be sanctioned for. Try to blame it on Rangers, that clown Rogers, try to blame it on Rangers. It's them, it's done it, no Rangers. They banned the fans, no Rangers. Rangers followed suit when they banned the Rangers fans, for no good reason, by the way. Absolutely no good reason. We'll come on to that in a minute. We're going up there with all the disadvantage again. Everything going against us again. Now, all we'll get is referees, because last year we lost the league and everybody thinks we collapsed. We did to a certain extent, but I'll tell you the real reason we lost the league. We lost the league last year because all the decisions in Old Firm games went their way, and it have been for the last 5 years. We need to get that sorted out, guys. That's not right. That's simply not right, because we're going up there, and I don't know who the referee is, but I'm telling you, one of these clowns will start being a controversial decision against Rangers again. Now, all these decisions that these clown referees are making, by the way, these are £40 million decisions they're making, but it's always in their favour. Always in their favour. They never ever get decisions against them in an Old Firm game. Never, mate. It's never happened for years. Years and years. I think the last time was when that fat Australian was going on about Connor Golson hauling a ball. That was the last decision that they seen went against them. But apart from that, no many decisions. So we're going up there with everything stacked against us, and we need to go up with a siege mentality. We need to go up there with the attitude that we're not supposed to win up here. Everybody thinks we're going to get beaten in here. If we get in with that attitude and dig in, well, as Andy says, anything can happen. You never know, mate. Anything can happen.
Mm-hmm. Aye. That says we're on the debate to come on, Bears, so that says it'd be really good to hear from you. This is us running into the last half of the show, so let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Yep, come in like your James and Andy, and what I says, make your points and create a discussion. James, forgive me, mate. I've kind of forgot the third point, mate.
Right. It was about
Roof.
Roof. No, I was on about Hadji. It's about decisions. Like I've said all along, you've got to fight. Andy was right. You've got to get players that fight for the team, and you've got to have the Rangers club management fight for their team. Now, if St Johnstone can go to VAR, like we should be saying about people getting injured, like Hadji got a bad injury, that ruined him. And we should have made sure that player got his just reward. And we've got to call out with Old Bear saying the years of not getting decision, and they should make statements on that. What are they going to do about it across the city? Nothing. As long as the statements are not derogatory, just get the point over. We want fairness in the game against them. That's all we're looking for.
Andy, I think we did in the Old Firm game, especially with Willie Collin with that handball, didn't we? I think we took that the full way, and we were criticised for that as well, weren't we, Andy?
Aye, well, with Jander, we're doing with Jander, we don't that way, do we? Like, I don't know where we go with that, but I know that we shouldn't be putting up with a lot of the stuff that we do put up with. And I do think in certain cases we need to challenge them out. That one, was it round about the Mayday game? Or the last one, that decision where the goal should have stood, and then it took them, 40 seconds to find out another way that they could move it on a bit, to get the decision to go against it. There's definitely dark arts, but I don't like, it sounds like we're carrying on like them, but there's definitely strange things that go on. I just like to see Rangers have a bit of backbone on that and stand up a wee bit. What we got to lose? So they don't like what we say, but at least we've got it out there. They make sure, whether it's wrong or right, that they get it out there, so they get people thinking, they get people going with them. We need to start doing that. It's as simple as that. Fight fire with fire. That's the only way it's the way I've lived my life, and that's the way I think Rangers should be. We've been too nice on that side, but as I said all through the years, I remember my old man going nuts. We need to go out and say things here, and he used to say, "No, they'll know because we believe that we'll go about it our way and we'll show the right way of going about it." But sometimes people are going to fight dirty with you, and you need to fight dirty back. Let them get a bit of their own medicine, and that's what angers a lot of people as well. We don't do that.
Albert, I think that even when you look at obviously the Champions League qualifier there with Kiev with the red card, I think even the manager and the club were not wanting to say too much in case they got fined. And again, it's something that we can't really be doing with is getting hot with fines and spending money where we don't really need to, because we need the money in the squad.
I mean, you're not going to get anywhere complaining about referees or to referees or to any the governing bodies. It's not going to happen. I mean, look what happened with Colum. He get caught cheating and lying, mate. And what did they do? They promoted him to chief donkey. He's not the chief donkey, mate. You're a donkey referees, you know what I mean? So you sit and go, then that's what you get if you do it right. But if he'd have done that decision against them, they've already prepped everybody on we get things against us. They've been doing it for years, mate. I'm 67, man, and I've been hearing it for 60 odd years, mate. You know what I mean? It's like how everything's against them, and it's all a tragedy and all that. And they kept it up and kept it up and kept it up. Now they've got all the upper hand. They get their argument in first, mate. All I'm trying to do is show you that last year definitely had a big influence on the league, where the league went, the league title went, and it has for the last 3-4 years anyway. So you need to say to yourself, look, you got to make sure that everybody's aware of what's happening here, and they can't keep denying it. I know the media will not report it; they never do. You know what I mean? Unless it's for their pets out across the city. But at the end of the day, you need to still say, look, this is not right. Before the game, no during the game, no after the game, before the game, which they do, which Brenda done last year after the Hearts game. Oh, big hullabaloo, and that's when the league was tight. Oh, they had a big tragedy going there because a Helen Boggett gave against them. I mean, it's not right. It's not a penalty kick, and it went and the letters get flew about, and all of a sudden. But then he's clever enough to 2 weeks later, came out and apologised before the next Old Firm game. Oh, no, I didn't mean to get on. I can't remember what referee it was. They're all the same to me. But the game against the Ukrainians, the Kiev, I mean, that's just simply a hopeless decision. I mean, I say that after the game, and I'll say it now again. I've repeated it twice, and I'll say it again. That referee made Clancy look competent. That's the biggest insult I can give him. He was ridiculous, mate. Absolutely ridiculous. But what's the point of complaining? You're not going to get anywhere complaining to him during the game or after the game, or complaining to the authorities. You just got to go on, mate. But get your moaning in and get your concerns in before the game starts, mate. That's what happened up there across the city, mate. Every dark hour, they've mastered it.
James, as old Bear's saying there, I think it's important that we start getting. I mean, Chris Boyd, to be fair, has been doing all right for us at certain points on the media side. It's just getting more people out there to kind of nudging the post a bit more for us,
Yeah, but I also think that we've got to get over our points. Like, I'll look at the BBC and it's got Rangers win a debatable on a VAR decision. When you listen to what's the Celtic Hibs game, the commentators, oh, there's such a great team passing the ball to each other. Oh, look at on the wing. It's so negative when Rangers, any result, it's a VAR problem or it's this and that. And you can't just let them do nothing. I would take the fines. I would do it in a nice language that, like, we're not satisfied with what we're getting from the referees. It's 5 years of this. We're getting a lot of bad decisions. Why did you promote Willie to that when he's not been very good with us? I mean, that's the terminology you get over.
When you get caught lying and cheating, that's just a thing. You get caught lying and cheating, and all of a sudden he gets promoted. Anyway, it's Scotland.
Yeah, say that to him. Why did he get promoted when he's gave us bad decisions? Maybe not using the word lying and cheating.
James, to quote them, he was the best candidate for the job. That was what was in the SFA statement. So
you get somebody. Remember, some people have been saying that statements from Rangers are not written very well. Get somebody that can write properly and get over their points in a way so it makes us correct and good. And but it's for good. There's a kind of, I'm a bit of a Christian. It's when good people do nothing, like good Rangers supporters are doing nothing and just let them get away with it. We've got to stand up for ourselves. That's what I'm saying. And let them say bad things, but we've got to correct them. You know what I mean? That's what I think.
Right, changing tack a wee bit and changing the subject. We've also brought up the old firm there, and obviously there's been a lot of talk on the ticketing side of things. I'll take this from you all, and I'll go to Albert first. But I kind of know Albert's answer because I heard them the other night, kind of mentioning it. Obviously the Broom was a big talking point that they're clearly wanting that. Now, for me personally, in my opinion, no chance. I mean, it's got to be European allocation, and the only reason I would give them the European allocation is just the whole purpose. I remember back when I was a wee boy and going to all firm games and stuff like that, and the wins and like the Edu's last minute goal and stuff like that. The absolute pelters that they took after the kind of games, watching that was fantastic. And don't get me wrong, I was there when Gerrard's last Old Firm game, when Hollander put the header away and it was a full Ibrox. Now, Ibrox was bouncing, great atmosphere. But there wasn't that kind of gloating side at the end, and that's where I just think it would be good. Still to have that kind of small minority in there, just to have that. What is it? The 90-minute bigot kind of thing. Albert.
Well, you know what that's not. I wouldn't let them in at all, mate. That's just for him. I can't stand them. I wouldn't let them in. Mate. I like to keep the place clean, tidy, and with morals and safe and tucked away. I wouldn't let them in, mate. No chance would I let them in. They don't deserve to be in Ibrox. They usually don't. But they're going to let them in. That's the bottom line. They're going to let them in. So we may as well talk about the carry on that's going on at the moment. No, they should be sanctioned, mate. They should be sanctioned for the tickets they didn't give Rangers fans for this next upcoming game. That's one. They're talking about safety. They're not get guarantee for it. And the one's got nothing. One thing's not got anything to do with another. The game at Ibrox or Hampden is not here yet, so there doesn't have to have any guarantees given to MD yet. If we don't let them in, if we're back at Ibrox or at Hampden, they've got a point to say we should be sanctioned. Well, at the moment, Rodgers is trying to put it on to Rangers. It's got nothing to do with Rangers, mate, and everything to do with them. They are banning Rangers fans and they're going against the AIN agreement. They should be sanctioned for it, mate. That's a fact of life. If we get to Ibrox and don't let them in, we should be sanctioned. But we're not at Ibrox, are we? Or Hampden. We're at the Pedo Dome. That's where we are. So they should be getting sanctioned. That's where we stand right now. That's what should happen, mate. But they're trying to drive the narrative it's all Rangers. It's not to do with Rangers. Completely nothing to do with Rangers.
Andy, just where do you stand, mate? And again, if the all firms, like Holbeer's saying, going forward should just be closed door, well, not so much closed doors, just home fans only, then will it be the cup final? Will it be the cup finals that will make it the proper all firm games again?
Yeah, well, I think the all firm game's been devalued by not having the support. And by the way, Blue, they should have been done last season because they did it last season before they're doing it for the up and coming one. So they should have been hit twice, or they should have been hit for that one last time, and they should be getting hit for it this time. It's in the rules, is it not, that they've got to offer so many tickets, or am I reading it right? No, personally myself, I mean, I went in the days where, you know, you had good support from both sides, you know, at each other's grounds. The atmosphere is, listen, I've been to many of them as all bearers, and there's nothing better, especially if you beat them. You know, lauding it all and gaining it tight. But the game's not the same, in my opinion. They've already taken a lot out of the game with all the foreigners that play on both sides. In my opinion, it's not like an all-firm game that we watched. I know, I wish I could have done. I wish it was back in the 1970s, Gary, like I said before. But no, I can't. It's just not the same game. It's not the same game, I'll be honest with you. That's just my opinion.
Okay, cheers, mate. James, your point on it, mate?
Right, okay. I was at a concert on last Friday, seeing the group America. I don't know if you heard of them. And I was put in, I bought the ticket and it says restricted view. And I couldn't even see the drummer or the rhythm guitarist. I saw the other people in the band and they were very good. But I don't think Rangers supporters should go to get an equal amount of tickets and even give them a stand, and we get one of their complete stands and see how they like it. A complete stand. That's my opinion, and make the atmosphere better. But that's just my opinion on it. But I think it should be equal, not stuck in a corner. I wouldn't go to see them in a corner like I went to see America. Sort of like seeing a band, but I wouldn't like to go to the football and you can't see the football being kicked around.
If they want to stand, James, it should be corner flag to corner flag. We give them corner flag to corner flag when they're on the Brimlin stand. They should give us corner flag to corner flag in their midden. But they don't. So that's what I'd be demanding. You want the Brimlin? We'll give you the Brimlin. Right? But you're giving us corner flag to corner flag at your midden. That's a fact, mate. And watch how much they squirm about that one.
Yeah, that's an excellent point.
Well, Old School Blair's not been overly busy tonight, so I'll maybe get him to put a wee quick poll out and see what we get for that, and put the fishing rod out. So, Old School, if you have the time, mate, put a wee poll up on Facebook and we'll see what the Facebook people are saying about whether there should be an allocation or no allocation. So, allocation or no allocation, and get your votes in and we'll have a wee see where the Rangers support sit. For me, like I said, Albert, it's a hard one because, like I say, I've seen the times with McGregor making the save with Samaras, and that's the Edu goal and stuff like that, and even times back with Big Ek. And then, let's say, recent times even with Gerrard and stuff like that, like how like that first win at Parkhead and stuff with them, how there was fans there to see that and stuff. I think there's a place for it, but I certainly know for me, no a full broom one. It's got to be European allocation or nothing.
See, it's all sentimentality you're talking about there, JB. It's all looking back with rose-coloured glasses and it's all great. That was a time back then when the two clubs were supposed to respect each other. Now, in the face of it, they did. Behind the scenes, it might have been different, but in the face of it, they did. Now, they have no respect for us whatsoever. And we should reciprocate it back to them. I haven't any respect for them at all. I'm telling you right now, I would give them nothing. I wouldn't give them the steam off my proverbial. You know what I mean? So that's the way I look at it, mate. That's the way I look at it. I just, no for me. You're in a war with us, Mob. You just don't realise it yet. But as well, eventually the penny will drop with a lot of Rangers fans. These people don't like us, and they never will. And stop trying to cuddle up to them and going to like us. I don't care a damn if they like me or no. Because I'm telling them right now, I don't like them. So, end of the day, just walk over separate ways. That's as far as I'm concerned.
Fair, mate, fair. Andy, one thing I say, there's other games out there, like say AC Milan, Inter Milan. I think that they're much the same as what's happening now, but it's only home fans. There's no away fans there. So is it just a kind of thing with these modern times that this is going to be the kind of the new way, the new way of all Firm games, and probably in 10, 20 year time, the young fans that are seeing it now probably will know any different.
Yeah, it seems that way, doesn't it? Right enough. That's about the only thing I agree with Clement. So you can give me one for this one, Gary. He does say that both all Firm games or any derby should have opposing fans. So I'll agree with that to start for me with him.
The first tick of the season.
I just don't get. There's nothing better than going to a football game with your opposing fans and all that. That's part of the game. That's part of growing up. And we all wear that right enough. I don't have none of them as my friends. I don't like them. I detest them. I've detested them since I can remember. And I agree. They shouldn't be. And when they come in with pack, they smash my ground up and all that. I'm not just saying it's them because we've gone over there and done it. There used to be, as always said back in the day, used to be an uneasy truce with them that we were two massive clubs, and there was that uneasy respect to each other, never liked each other and all that. But see the players back in the day, they used to drink together and all that. Jimmy Baxter, Jimmy Johnston, and all them guys. But when they went out in the field to play, they dropped blood for the respective teams. And I think we've lost all that off the terraces and on the field as well. And that's a great shame to me. I've been fortunate that I was there at many of them. Seen some great times and seen some, but even when we were inconsistent through the 9, their first 9, we regularly beat them. It was the inconsistency in the other games at Cross Rangers. We never, we had really good spells against them. You know what I mean? And that's, I'm not going to get them back this modern day, so I have to learn to live with what's coming.
Early polls, James, is that I'm correct that Old School Blues been doing nothing all night. James, what's the way forward, mate? Wait a minute,
hold on. Wait a minute here. This poll, you see this poll here? The question is we want to give tickets to each set of fans. I think that was the question.
That was the original question, but
vote yes or yes definitely. What's that all about, mate? That's a fix. I'm not having that one. Yes,
I think also.
Well, I voted yes, definitely.
Where's my vote, boy? It starts with F. Starts with F and finishes with F.
I think Old School Blues been changing up the question a bit there. James, what's the way forward, mate? How are we just going to let us say full Ibrox, full Parkhead, and let us say it's just down to our team to go home and away and try and get results and let us say try and experience this new way at Old Firm?
Well, the way forward is I would let Old School Blue on the programme give his opinion now and then, just like Fox, because I was talking to him from Luton, and he's a very nice person, and so he could give his opinion and come on now and then. It's a kind of respect. Like since 2012, it was just the Rangers supporters didn't do anything. We were the followers of a team that the club couldn't manage properly. And it's the same club. And whether they say we're some sort of other name, just forget them. It's like let your enemies get on with their life and you get on with yours. And don't treat them with hatred. Just let them do what they want. But I think the way forward is good. I'll always put 56 when I'm replying to people. We're going to win the league. We're going to do good things. We've got to have faith in the team. And I think we will, if we can give them tickets and sort it out. But it's the club that does it. We're just giving our opinion. We're not going to change. It's up to them to maybe listen to us or listen to the fan base. And I'm sure they've got a fan. Have they not got a fan kind of authority or something going now?
Fan liaison board. That is there. Albert, do you think maybe it might not even be the clubs? It might be the pressure from the likes of the Sky and stuff like that they're wanting a better product on the park, in the sense of entertainment wise. Do you think it'll come from a bit of pressure will come for them?
I don't think having a crowd is any reflection what you get on the park. The standard of players, the standard of player. They're just wanting a better viewing thing. They're wanting it's the same as all the tabloids up here, the Record, the Sun and all that for the years. They lived after hatred. They lived and sold papers after hatred. Then as soon as somebody went, that's no right outside of Scotland, that's no right. Oh, they all turned holier than holy and it's all disgraceful sectarian singing and all this bigoted nonsense. But they lived after it for years and years and years. So it's the same as Sky. They're wanting the hatred back into it. They want the atmosphere there so their product's good. They're not interested what's the right thing or the wrong thing, or as James, from James's point of view, the Christian thing. They're not interested in any of that. They just want to sell their product and make profits, mate. That's as far as it goes. But I'm firm on my stance, mate. No for me. No, definitely no. I'll lose. That's fine. But
this is why I get This is why I give Old School Blue the kind of polls today, because, like I says, he puts the questionnaire a lot better than how I ask it. He's put the poll out there for allocation both ways, nice and simple, yes or no. And we're currently sitting with 56% yes and 44% no. So it's close, Albert. They're climbing. The boys are nearly making it 50-50 for you.
Well, it's not that close because I've voted myself 43%.
I'm sure, Andy, you can drum up some folk to help.
I was the 50% for. Aye.
Right, so let's see. We'll part that and
we'll call it a draw.
Aye. I think it's always going to be a depending what era you watched all firms. I think, isn't it? It's one of the ones you'll have. Albert, I think you've touched on it with me there that it's more the memory thing, and it's more, whereas the new
it's emotional.
Much difference.
Aye, it's emotional. It's looking back with rose-coloured glasses, and there was some great atmospheres. No doubt about that. I'm not arguing about that. It's about respect now, and it's about common decency, and there is not much yet, man. No, especially not towards Rangers. So, as far as I'm concerned, don't invite it. You've got to suffer it in the streets, and you've got to suffer it when you got up with their midden, but you don't invite it into your own home, mate. And you just don't, as far as I'm concerned. You've got to have a sanctuary somewhere, a place where you don't have to tolerate any of this nonsense, and that's Ibrox for me.
I agree. Aye, right. I says we'll park it, and I think where I agree as well with Albert is that it has times have changed, and it changed once. Like I says, we went down to the lower leagues. That's when I would say, like I says, the allocation thing started creeping in and stuff like that. Like I says, it was all changed from that point onwards. James, come on for you, mate. is there signs there that you're getting more confident, especially we touched on it earlier with the signings? I think I said to Andy, is it going to be a couple of more signings, couple of better results or performances even, that is obviously going to settle the fans down a wee bit?
Yeah, if he gets a couple of players before the window ends and he gets better results, the feel-good factor will come. I see no harm in going to the supporters and having a wee dance with them. I think in America they sell things, do things that are different. You go and there's the fans, we'll jump around with the fans. What's up with that? People think I think that's fine. I think they should be doing more things like that. I think he'll do well, but I think we've got to get a result against Celtic and just tighten up a bit. Just cut down the wings. They play with wingers, and they're quite good. And cut that down. Get a victory there. Things can change. Turn the tables on them. And it's only going through time. It's early days yet. And we can't keep sacking managers all the time. Do you know what I mean? So I would give them at the end of the year at least, no matter what happens. I wouldn't get rid of them and see what players come through. But Hefty's a good player, maybe defensively, but forwardly, maybe he's needing as a winger type thing, a midfield player. But make sure Tavernier's protected by somebody like Maeda, because you'll cause some problems. It'll be the same old story if we don't protect Tavernier.
No, Andy, I think, like say, Tavernier in previous games recently, he's not really closed down when the crosses have been coming in, and I think he's been leaving it expecting the defence to deal with it. But I think, like I say, it's something, again, manager's got to be on it. This is where he gets the criticism, that he seems to let certain players away with it.
I think he's been letting the fans try to deal with it for many, many years now, right enough. But he had that record with goals and all that kept him, a lot of people on side with him. He just can't defend. If they're talking about defending the side, he's rubbish. It's as simple as that. Going forward, getting his goals and all that, it was good. But he's lost everything. He's lost his pace now. He's treading treacly. There's one there on Saturday. They got the ball down there, our left. He was nowhere near it, and then he ended up running over to the other side. He can't get back now. He's going to do his legacy, if that's what you want to call it. He's going to do that great arm along with the team. Anybody can see that Father Time's caught him, relative of what anybody thinks about Father Time. You can't beat, and it's caught him. And if he continues without any cover, move him up forward or protect him, you'll see he'll be on the end of any goal that we lose. I think he'll be involved in quite a few of them. He just gets caught. You know what he started doing is brought back into his game of late from the latter games of last season and this one. If a guy goes past him, he stops now, like he used to do before. He just stops. He doesn't chase a man, try to, put him off or whatever. He just stops, and that's alarming. We can't have that. That's my worry there, with him.
Right, we're getting to that time in the night, lads. A couple of minutes to go. James, your final thoughts, buddy?
Well, it's like everything else. Over here, they support Barcelona, Real Madrid, Real Salt Lake, Real Miami. Like being a Rangers supporter, we're brought up in a tradition. That was our life, supporting Rangers. And no matter what happens, we will go back and always support them. Win, lose, or draw.
Well said, mate. And thanks for phoning in. Great points tonight, mate.
Thank you.
And Andy, final thoughts, bud?
Yeah, I agree with what James said there. Listen, Glasgow Rangers are what we're all about. They're our life. We're born Rangers. We're born Rangers fans, and we'll die that way. What's coming? And like I said, for me, I just show my concerns. Well, I want the same as everyone here, and thanks for putting up with tonight, right enough. I'll catch you all later.
See you later, Andy.
Cheers, Andy. Albert, your final thoughts as well, bud?
That was good tonight. Good conversation tonight with Andy and James. The two of them brought in good points, disagreements and opinions, and it's all good stuff, mate. It's all good stuff. That's what makes football, mate. That's what makes Glasgow Rangers supporters. But I'm confident, guys, we're going to get it better. We'll get it better. It's we've got to go through the rough to come out the other end. We enjoy the chase. We enjoy the challenge, mate. So let's bring it on. And I'm confident. So looking forward to seeing the Glasgow Rangers next week.
Brilliant,
Or
mate.
next
Brilliant.
Saturday. Sorry, mate. It's a Saturday.
That's your days are all mixed up then, mate. Anyway,
I've got 7 Saturdays, mate. I'm retired.
well, look at you, mate. Just before we go, Fox has got a question for the lads for tomorrow night's show. So his question for tomorrow night is: should Rangers have a man on a white horse bring that ball into the pitch at the start of every game? Well, I think we all know the answer for that. That's a big yes. Right, lads. Just the thank yous now. So big thanks for Andy phoning in. That's his contributing to the show. Great points. James, again, thanks for phoning in, mate. That's his giving your time up to come in and make points on the famous Glasgow Rangers. Big thanks to yourself, Albert, mate. Helped me through the show tonight. And big thanks to the techie team in the background, Fox and Old School Blue. This has been Rangers Radio. We'll be back tomorrow night where you'll be joined with, well, the new young team. Good night.